Welcome to all in the lecture series of functional analysis. Now in this lecture we see Ree's lemma. The statement is, let capital Y and capital Z be subspaces of a norm space capital X where capital X is of any dimension, may be finite, may be infinite. And suppose capital Y is closed and is a proper subset of Z. That means capital Y is closed and it is strictly contained in Z. Then for every real number theta in the interval 0, 1, there is small z belongs to capital Z such that norm of z equals to 1. Norm of z minus y, that is greater than or equals to theta, for all y belongs to capital Y. That is here we have to show. Here that means here we have to given that capital Y and capital Z be the subspaces of a norm space capital X. These are the two subspaces of a norm space capital X. Again here we have to given that capital Y is closed subspace of X as well as it is a proper subset of Z. That means it is strictly contained in Z. Then in such situation, then for every real number theta in the interval 0, 1, that means for every value of the theta in the interval 0, 1, there is small z belongs to capital Z such that norm of z equals to 1. That means this small z is the unit element whose norm is norm of z equals to 1. That means for every real number theta there exists small z belongs to capital Z whose norm equals to 1 such that norm of z minus y is always greater than or equals to theta for all y belongs to capital Y. That is we have to show. Now to prove this theorem, firstly here we consider the given situation like this. Suppose here capital X is a norm space of any dimension, capital Y and capital Z are subspaces of a norm space capital X. Here again the given condition is that capital Y is closed and it is proper subspace of Z. Capital Y is a proper subspace of Z. That means here Y is strictly contained in Z. That means Z minus Y, it is not equals to phi. That means there exists at least one point. There exists at least one point, say here we suppose that V. There exists at least one point, say V, belongs to Z such that V belongs to Z minus capital Y. That means V is a point of Z but V does not belongs to capital Y. It is the meaning of capital Y is a proper subset of Z. That means there exists at least one point in Z which is not the point of Y. This is the meaning of capital Y is strictly contained in Z. Now Y is strictly contained in Z. Therefore here we consider any point V belongs to Z. Here we consider the point, consider V belongs to Z minus Y and we denote its distance. We denote its distance from capital Y by small a. That is by the definition of the distance between point V and the set. It is equals to infimum of norm of V minus Y such that small y belongs to capital Y. This is the distance between the point V and the set capital Y. That means here what we are doing, we are taking all the points of capital Y and then we take the distance between all these points and the set V. That means here if we suppose that in capital Y we have the points, suppose here we suppose that in Y we have the points, suppose Y1, Y2 and Y3. These are the points in capital Y. Then what we are taking here, we are taking the distance between point V and small y1, v minus y1. We are taking the distance between v minus y2. We are taking the distance between v minus y3. And then of all this we are taking the infimum, and that infimum is the distance between the point v and the set y. In this way we define the distance between point v and the set y. Now that means here a, which is the distance between point v, that means it is written as distance between point v and the subset y, it is equals to a, and this is written as infimum of norm of v minus y such that y is any element of capital Y. Now here this distance is strictly greater than 0, as we know that the distance between any 2 point d of y comma x, it is always greater than or equals to 0, and here we consider that this distance is strictly greater than 0, because here if we consider, since if a, that is equals to the infimum of all y belongs to capital Y such that norm of v minus y. If we consider this distance equals to 0, as this distance equals to 0, that means here the distance between point v and the set y, that is equals to 0. When the distance between the point v and the set y, it is equals to 0, it implies that v is the limit point, v is the limit point of capital Y, as v is the, that is here, that is v is the limit point of capital Y, as v is the limit point of capital Y, because here the distance between point v and capital Y, it is equals to 0. It means that every neighborhood of v contains the point of y other than the point v, and therefore here, because here the distance between v and y, it is equals to 0, that means v is very nearer to y. As v is very near to y, that means here every neighborhood of v contains the point of y other than v, and therefore here v becomes the limit point of capital Y, and as v is the limit point of capital Y, and here we have to given that capital Y is closed. Capital Y is closed, that means capital Y contain all its limit point. Therefore capital Y contain all its limit point, and here v is the limit point of capital Y, implies that v belongs to capital Y. But we take v is the point belongs to z minus y, that means v does not belongs to capital Y, and here we get v belongs to capital Y, and these two gives the contradiction, and therefore our supposition, what is our supposition? A, that is the distance between the point v and the set y equals to 0 is wrong. Therefore this A, that is equals to the distance between point v and the set y, it is always strictly greater than or equals to 0. This is about the distance between the point v and the set y, which is strictly greater than 0. Now we take any theta belongs to the open interval 0 comma 1. As theta belongs to the open interval 0 comma 1, it implies that 0 strictly less than theta strictly less than 1, and therefore as 0 is not equals to as theta not equals to 0, therefore 1 by theta, it is greater than 1, and therefore multiplying both sides by a, we get here a by theta, it is greater than a, that is a strictly less than a by theta, and therefore by definition of infimum, as A equals to the infimum of the set of all norm of V minus y such that y is the element of capital Y, and therefore by definition of infimum, there is y0 belongs to capital Y such that A less than or equals to norm of V minus y0, and this is less than or equals to A by theta. Now here we take that between the point A and the point A by theta, by the definition of infimum, here we say that there is a point y0 belongs to capital Y such that A less than or equals to norm of V minus y0, that is less than or equals to A by theta. Now here we consider this point between this point A and A by theta, because here we know that A, it is equals to the infimum of all y belongs to capital Y norm of V minus y. That is our definition of A. This is the distance between the point V and the set capital Y. As it is the infimum, and therefore for all y0 belongs to capital Y, we always know that as it is the infimum, therefore A, it is always less than norm of V minus y0. But here we also taken that norm of V minus y0, that is less than or equals to A by theta. For this here, as we take A, it is equals to the infimum of all this, but this infimum, it is equals to, we may write it as also GLB, that is the greatest lower bound. As it is the greatest lower bound, that means here as A, which is less than or equals to norm of V minus y0 for all y0 belongs to capital Y. That means small a is the lower bound of all this norm of V minus y0. And here also, if we take norm of V minus y0, here we are taking that it is less than or equals to A by theta. Now here we suppose that it is greater than A by theta. That means here also A by theta is less than or equals to norm of V minus y0. As A by theta it is less than or equals to norm of V minus y0, it implies that A by theta is also the lower bound. It is also the lower bound of norm of V minus capital Y. It is also the lower bound of norm of V minus capital Y, but consider here this, but A and A by theta, here the relation is that, as here we know that theta, it is the element of the open interval 0, 1. That means theta, it must be in the terms of 1 by n, where n is something a natural number, and therefore as theta, it is equals to 1 by n for some n belongs to set of natural number. Here we suppose theta equals to 1 by 2. As theta equals to 1 by 2, then A by theta, it becomes A by 1 by 2, and that is equals to twice A. That means when the value of theta is equals to 1 by 2, then A by theta is equals to twice A, and therefore the relation between twice A and A is that twice A is greater than A. It is true because theta is the element of the open interval 0, 1. Therefore, for the theta equals to the 1 by n, which is the element of the open interval 0, 1, here we get that the relation between A and A by theta is that this A is less than A by theta, and as A is less than A by theta, it means that it means that as a is less than a by theta, and here we get that a by theta is the lower bound. Also we know that a, that is also less than or equals to norm of v minus y0. Therefore a is also the lower bound. As a is also the lower bound, a by theta it is also the lower bound. But here we get that a by theta is greater than a. That is a by theta is the greatest lower bound of norm of v minus capital Y. Therefore, that is a by theta becomes the infimum of norm of v minus y such that y belongs to capital Y, and it implies that a by theta becomes the distance between point V and the set A. It gives the contradiction because here we define A, that is the infimum of norm of V minus Y, and therefore here we get the contradiction, and therefore here our assumption is that here we assume that norm of V minus Y0 it is strictly greater than A by theta is wrong, and therefore here we have small a less than or equals to norm of v minus y0, that is less than or equals to a by theta. That means here we get a less than or equals to norm of v minus y0, that is less than or equals to a by theta for y0 belongs to capital Y. Now after this, here we construct the element of z like this. Let z equals to the c into in bracket v minus y0, where c equals to 1 by norm of v minus y0. Now here we construct the point z, that is equals to c into v minus y0 in such a way that we require, as in our given condition, we have to given that norm of z must be equals to 1, and therefore here we construct z equals to the c into v minus y0, where c equals to 1 by norm of v minus y0, such that norm of z it becomes norm of c into in bracket v minus y0, and that is equals to, as c is a scalar, therefore we can take mod c into norm of v minus y0, but mod c that is always 1 divided by norm of v minus y0 into norm of v minus y0, and therefore it is equals to 1, and in this way we construct a z, it is equals to c into v minus y0. Also here we observe that as z equals to c into v minus y0. Now here v is the point of z as well as y0 it is the point of y, and y is a subset of z. Therefore v and y0 both are the point of z, and here z is a subspace. Of a norm space capital X. As z is a subspace of a norm space capital X, that means z is a vector space. And as z is a vector space, therefore for v and y0 belongs to z implies that v minus y0 that is also the element of z, and here c that is equals to 1 divided by that is equals to c equals to 1 divided by norm of v minus y0. It is something a real number, and therefore it is a scalar. And as z is a vector space, therefore it is closed with respect to the scalar multiplication, and therefore as v minus y0 belongs to z, therefore c into v minus y0, that is also the element of z, because z is a vector space, and therefore here the element z, that is construct like this: z equals to c into v minus y0, that is also the element of z having the norm of z equals to 1. Now after this we have to show that norm of z minus y, it is greater than or equals to theta for all y belongs to capital Y. That is we have to show. Now here we have to show that norm of z minus y, that is greater than or equals to theta for all y belongs to capital Y. That is we have to show, and for this we start with let small y belongs to capital Y be any arbitrary element of capital Y. Then norm of z minus y, that is equals to, just putting the value of z, that is c into v minus y0 minus y. This is equals to mod c into norm of v minus y0 minus, now here we take 1 by c into y, that is equals to mod c into norm of v minus y0 minus c inverse y, that is equals to mod c into norm of v minus, in bracket we take y0 plus c inverse y, as y0 it is the element of capital Y, and small y, it is also the element of capital Y. C inverse, as we know that C is equals to 1 by norm of V minus Y0. It is always strictly greater than 0, and therefore the C inverse, that is also strictly greater than 0, and as it is a real number, C inverse is also a real number, and therefore we can consider it as C inverse is a scalar, small y it is the element of capital Y, and C is a scalar, and small y belongs to capital Y. Capital Y is a subspace, that means it is a vector space, therefore it is closed with respect to the scalar multiplication, and therefore C inverse into y, that is also the element of capital Y. Now C inverse y, it is the element of capital Y, y0 it is also the element of y, and therefore y0 plus C inverse y, we can write it, it is equals to y1, that is also the element of y, and therefore here we get that it is equals to mod of C into norm of v minus y1, that is the norm of z minus y, it is equals to mod of C into norm of v minus y1. The here, as we know that this C, it is equals to 1 by norm of v minus y0, it is strictly greater than 0, therefore mod of C, that is equals to again C into norm of v minus y1. We give it the equation number 1, that is equals to norm of z minus y. Now after this here after this here again norm of v minus y1, norm of v minus y1, it is always greater than or equals to infimum of all y belongs to capital Y, norm of v minus y, because here y1 is any element of capital Y, therefore norm of v minus y1, it is always greater than or equals to infimum of all these differences, and therefore here, but infimum of this is nothing but it is equals to a, that means here we get that norm of v minus y1, it is greater than or equals to a. As it is greater than or equals to a and C is a strictly greater than 0, so we can multiply on both sides, and therefore we get C into norm of v minus y1, that is greater than or equals to C into a. And here C into norm of v minus y1 from equation 1, this is equals to norm of z minus y is greater than or equals to C into a. We give it the equation number 2, that is norm of z minus y, it is greater than or equals to C into A. Now here we are putting the value of C, that is equals to A divided by norm of V minus Y0. That is the value of C. That means here we get here that norm of Z minus Y, it is greater than or equals to A divided by norm of V minus Y0, that we get. But here, as we know, norm of V minus Y0, as we get here that this is greater than or equals to A, and that is less than or equals to A by theta, which we see. Then here we consider the norm of V minus Y0, that is less than or equals to A by theta. Norm of V minus Y0, that is less than or equals to A by theta, implies that theta is less than or equals to A divided by norm of V minus Y0. That is, theta is less than or equals to A by norm of V minus Y0, and norm of V minus Y0, it is less than or equals to norm of Z minus Y. That means that is less than or equals to norm of Z minus Y. That means here we get that theta is less than or equals to norm of Z minus Y, where Y be any element of capital Y. That means here we say that is for any Y belongs to capital Y, we get here norm of Z minus Y, it is greater than or equals to theta. This is the proof of the Rees lemma.